And Jack, I mean, to see the differences and what it actually means to see red blood cells overlap, that means they lost their electronegative charge. They This is absolutely the future of regeneration of your body. Cutting edge technology where it can literally change the frequencies, and you change the frequencies, man, you're changing your life. I think we
Absolutely.
have some videos of live blood cell analysis, which is what we do at our clinics, before and after using this energy.
And those could be two things: that the cell is not absorbing nutrients, or that because of the stressing, or you have low hemoglobin. Now,
Okay.
if they're deformed, like this
Yeah.
one, not entirely round shaped, maybe this one as well, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of rough edge here
Yeah.
as well. That could be that the stress is starting to affect its integrity.
Okay.
So the cell can't hold the round shape anymore,
Yeah.
and it's starting
Okay.
to collapse on itself.
Oh, they're moving more. Holy moly.
That they are.
Marvel.
Yeah, so they're not.
Whoa, they were like static before.
Now, is that because I drank a little water?
I mean, unless you had like at least 2 cups, maybe.
No, I just had
But
and it wasn't that long.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So your body's still absorbing it,
Okay.
still moving.
Okay, that's trippy.
There's still maybe some, but not as many.
Wow.
That's like a 15-minute difference.
That is a trip. That usually takes like a day or 2 days, 3 days at max to see a change. Red blood cells have an electronegative charge, and that keeps them like two negative magnets to keep them apart. What you just showed is that forget drinking the water. That's not going to change the charge of the cells. You literally recharged up the red blood cells, so now they have an electronegative charge, so they have more surface area, so they can hold more oxygen. If that doesn't give you like goosebumps, wow. Welcome to Wearable Healing Frequencies. Now, I've got two amazing gentlemen here, and I'm excited to introduce you. Number one, Jack Storms. Jack's once in a generation, world renowned celebrity, niche optic artist and sculptor. Not just an optic artist, this guy works with incredible light frequencies. Well known for his famous work at Marvel Studios and Disney, now in collaboration with Rife Frequency Technology, creating literally a healing frequency line. This is absolutely the future of regeneration of your body. And Brad Johnson, this guy is brilliant. 15-year background in radio frequencies, waveforms, modulation studies, transitioned from traditional engineering field to holistic frequency healing, committed to research, quantum entanglement of cells, and ultimate human healing potentials. Now, I've got to state this. This podcast interviews content is for informational purposes only. It's not intended as official medical advice. Jack and Brad, for those who don't know you brilliant guys, please share your very powerful origin stories.
Well, yeah, I'll start. I've always been touching things and arranging things and drawing things and sculpting things and crafting things. So when it was time for me to go off to college, I went off to be an artist. I got a degree in art, minored in art history with a studio emphasis. The studio emphasis part made me just learn the ins and outs of a studio. I picked up a gig working with optic crystal right out of college, worked there for about 2 years, and then through some growing pains, decided it was time to get my own studio. That was about 25 years ago. I've been doing it ever since. I'm fascinated with incorporating the golden ratio and the Fibonacci sequence into the work itself. and it's just been my passion. And I love watching people smile, and I love the reaction that people give me when I show off my work.
I got to tell you, man, it's an honor to meet you. I was looking at your work, what you do with bending light and frequencies. You got to figure you're using friggin' sand. Brad, what about you? What brought you into this?
I actually got started in the information technology industry about 15 or 16 years ago. Resonated really heavily towards the radio frequency side. Became wireless engineer and modulation specialist, and kind of got an understanding for the wave technologies and how certain things were propagating. And started resonating more towards using those waves towards the individual use of addressing health issues. And starting in 2018, I purchased my own Spooky 2 generator. I started identifying and using these different frequencies out of their databases to go in and resonate my own known health issues. And over the years, of the 9 main health issues that I started with, I'm only down to just one health issue now. So it's been an incredible journey, and I love telling and helping people become as informed as I am with regards to the use of these types of things and how to take a technology like this and introduce it into the house and benefit from its use.
Beautiful. I mean, brother, people that have recovered from chronic illness and disease, and you can't recover by taking medications. Okay, you are speaking from authority. And Jack, can you tell me more? Because I know you had a life-changing accident, but also, what about wearable sculptures? How did this come about?
Well, this project came about through a mutual friend who knew Brad and myself, and kind of put this together as her brainchild. And for me, it clicked instantly because I've always known there was something there. I'm in my studio all the time, sculpting, so I don't do as much social media as I should. I don't do as much promotion as I should. I'm just, basically a studio rat. And about 8 years ago now, I had a blood clot while I was on the operating table, and I woke up with no vision in my right eye. And that changed a lot of that changed my reality quite a bit. I didn't know if I could work anymore. It set me on a path where I was really starting to spiral. And I started using isochronic tones and binaural beats to try to find my center again. And that's what kind of, tuned me up. And previous to that, I was, a little bit too much, maybe too much information, but after I lost my eye, I shortly after that lost my marriage. And I was in a real state of despair. And I was still working. I was still touching the glass. I was still working the glass. And it was almost like this anti-Reiki kind of healing. Like it was just a bad vibe. I was in a bad place. All the pieces that I touched within that period of time, they oxidized, which means they turned yellow. The glass itself turned yellow. The color that I use on the inside, the dichroic, started to come away from the substrate, the glass that it's adhered to. My glue lines that I put together, that I spend a lot of time being meticulous with those to make sure that they're pure and visually just perfect. They started to absolutely just come apart in my hands. The pieces were disintegrating in my hands because it was in such a bad place. That's when I turned on the isochronic tones. That's when I turned on the binaural beats. And that was my real life introduction into what frequencies can do to the body. But I didn't take that extra step to incorporating them into the glass. So once I fixed my head and got my brain right and got my soul right. After that, I just, I came back probably better than ever before as an artist. So that's my journey and how I got here. And that's why as soon as I heard about this concept, I was all in. And then we've got a little example of what happens with my work. And yeah, we can get into that a little bit later, but yeah, that's basically how I rolled into it.
I'd love to see that stuff because I'm a big objective analysis guy. So if you can measure something, if you can actually see the results, knowing that your energy, your personal energy affects your work, that's 100%. And every time I'm training a chiropractor, I say your intention of the adjustment or of touching a patient can literally positively or negatively affect that patient. Now, I think we
Absolutely.
have some videos of live blood cell analysis, which is what we do at our clinics, before and after using this energy.
And those could be two things: that the cell is not absorbing nutrients, or that because of the stress state, or you have low hemoglobin. Now,
Okay.
if they're deformed, like this
Yeah.
one, not entirely round shaped, maybe this one as well, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of rough edge here
Yeah.
as well. That could be that the stress is starting to affect its integrity.
Okay.
So the cell can't hold the round shape anymore,
Yeah.
and it's starting
Okay.
to collapse on itself.
Oh, they're moving more. Holy moly.
That they are.
Incredible.
Yeah, so they're not.
Whoa, they were like static before.
Now, is that because I drink a little water?
I mean, unless you had like, at least 2 cups, maybe.
No, I just had
But
and it wasn't that long.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So your body's still absorbing it,
Okay.
still moving.
Okay, that's trippy.
There's still maybe some, but not as many.
Wow.
That's like a 15-minute difference.
That is a trip. That usually takes like a day or 2 days, 3 days at max to see a change. Red blood cells have an electronegative charge, and that keeps them like 2 negative magnets to keep them apart. What you just showed is that forget drinking the water. That's not going to change the charge of the cells. You literally recharged up the red blood cells, so now they have an electronegative charge, so they have more surface area, so they can hold more oxygen. If that doesn't give you like goosebumps, wow. Okay, Brad, can you explain how crystalline-based wearables can hold Rife, the healing frequency imprints? How do you put that in there?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's ultimately done through an imprinting process where you're going to be using a coil or some type of mechanism to pulse or put the frequencies into that actual crystalline structure of the crystal itself. I mean, at the core, crystal healing lies this understanding that everything in the universe is made up of energy. It's vibrating at different frequencies. Crystals, however, hold a very stable and unchanged energy frequency that's maintained into that crystalline structure. So the fact that when you're putting that around the body and it's benefiting and you're feeling and noticing its effect right away, that's understandable from the crystalline perspective of it bringing, effective energy back into the body. And what this is allowing you the ability to do is customize the types of energies that the crystal is bringing in with you. So whether we're bringing in a solfeggio frequency, or we're balancing your chakra energies in the body, or whether you're doing something like grounding with the Earth's vibrational frequency in the Schumann resonance, these frequencies will take the natural energetic properties of the crystal and amplify it to an entirely another level.
Brilliant. And people, when they start to hear crystal vibration, just think of ultrasound. You get a barium titanate crystal, you put a little electricity in there, and that sucker will vibrate between 1 and 3 million times a second, ripping a tendon off a bone. I mean, it's there is a vibration to this. Jack, can you tell us, because I mean, you work with the Fibonacci spiral, sacred geometry, and I love the story of your own energy is affecting the pieces. How do you work with those natural sacred geometry patterns?
Well, what I do is, when I first came up with this approach towards the aesthetics and the composition of the work, there's no such thing as a straight line in nature, and you need a straight line. You need a completely flat surface to make the optics really do what they're supposed to do and be as vibrant as they are and as refractive as they can be. So what I did is I started to incorporate how many cuts and how thick those cuts were according to Fibonacci principles, and then how wide and how thick and how tall and all the dimensions. I put those into Fibonacci because basically what I wanted to do is give people the sense that these were created and not manufactured. And that's how I got into incorporating this pattern, this pattern that we see everywhere in nature, into the work itself.
And I love the way you display your artwork. I've seen so many of your pieces slowly turning, and you have every angle gives you a different presentation. The way you work with light, and light is a frequency. It's brilliant. Brett, we know this as like ancient technology. Now it's being brought forth into the future of medicine because it literally is. Frequency healing is going to be it. But how does sacred geometry play a role in healing the body tissues at a cellular level?
Well, again, you're 100% right. This is nothing new from a technology perspective. Tartarians were using this type of understanding from how they built facilities hundreds of years ago. These were resonant chambers that people used to be able to go into that had matching entire stained glass windows that were unbelievably crafted using the resonance of the geometric design of the building. But these were the type of locations that when you went into, immediately upon walking into, you just felt a warmth almost come over your body because you started resonating with your, spot inside the building, its structure itself. Again, with sacred geometry, this is the ability to use these sacred things from nature, these healing patterns and things like that, and you're introducing them into a crystalline structure that you're then putting in contact with the body. So the moment that you start doing that, you then start energizing those energies inside the body with those natural healing abilities. This is basically like the understanding of creating harmony in nature inside the body from a piece that came from nature.
Brilliant, brilliant. And Jack, I mean, to see the differences and what it actually means to see red blood cells overlap, that means they lost their electronegative charge. They can't do their job of holding oxygen and transferring nutrients and waste products. And then 15 minutes later, just by being exposed to that frequency, that separates it. Now, I know you're planning to expand your line, and I know you're offering a launch a piece called Bliss, appropriate name, and people can select one of three frequency imprints. How does that work? How do you imprint on a crystal or on your piece?
Well, basically, what I do is I come up with the geometric pattern that uh, uh, that I believe is responsible for for being a carrier for these frequencies, and basically when I'm working on the work and when I've got assistants helping me work on the work, it's really important to be in a good headspace because I learned a while ago that you can either be resentful or you can be grateful. And when I'm a human. I slip all the time, right? Like I every once in a while I yell at somebody in traffic. I don't do road rage, but I can slip a little bit. I can even slip a lot. But when I'm grounded and I'm self-aware, I make a conscious choice to be grateful, especially when I'm engaging and touching my work. I'm just really appreciative that I've got a client base that keeps me busy. And there aren't a lot of working artists out there, and I've been able to manage it for 25 years. I've got my health, and I've got a lot of things to be grateful for. And my artwork and my ability to share my artwork is at the top of that list. So when I'm working on these pieces and when my people are working on these pieces, it's really important to have that good headspace.
Yeah, buddy, being in the zone. That's it. You're functioning at a totally different level. And Brett, can you explain the science behind the Rife frequency interfaces with Jack's pieces and
Absolutely.
and the three different imprints? How long do the frequencies last in the imprint?
Sure. So the process itself is relatively simple. We're using Spooky 2 technology, so that's going to involve one of their generators. We're also using a PEMF coil as a means of pulsing the frequencies into these types of crystals. And once you hook everything up, then that will give you access to the Spooky 2 database, which grants you the plethora of frequencies as choices to choose from. But with these particular pieces, the three main options obviously are going to be with your solfeggio frequency options, that's going to provide you with the most with regards to different choice frequencies. These are going to give you 9 choice frequencies that will all be imprinted into the stone itself. So we're going to take the effectiveness of the solfeggio frequencies, which are basically how our universe is constructed from the sound tones, put them all into the crystalline structure of this crystal, and then present them as a wearable. Now, as you move over to the chakra balancing, obviously, as we have 7 chakras, this one will have 7 frequencies, each one designed to balance all 7 of your chakras. Very simple and easy to do. And then obviously, as you work down to the Schumann resonance, the Schumann is going to have just a single individual frequency of 7.83 hertz. Now, some may ask, well, what's the benefit of using 9 frequencies versus 7 frequencies or 1 frequency? There's customization to what you really want them to do. 1 frequency at Schumann resonance is going to be very beneficial from the grounding perspective, or bringing in that Earth's natural vibrational frequency. Or if you like keeping all of your chakral energies in balance or in line, maybe that chakral imprint may be the best one for you. Same thing, the solfeggio frequencies are bass tone core frequencies. They are core frequencies, and they have one of my most favorite frequencies being the 528 hertz frequencies as part of their original group.
Wow. And you have to choose between one of 3 frequencies.
In this initial rollout, we're going to be offering them as 3 choices. So you can choose to start with doing like a solfeggio line, or something to help balance your DNA with 528 and all your natural frequencies. If you're wanting to balance your energies from the chakral perspective, then the chakral frequencies may work best for you from that perspective. But as I said before, all 3 will just be the initial kind of kickoff. There will be multiple options as you go down the road.
Okay. And can you take that same crystal and imprint a different frequency on it, utilizing the Spooky 2?
You can, and we spoke about this with regards to the timing it takes, and that is going to be vary from different things that you can potentially do with the crystal. And as we don't have a specific timeline for that, we are researching this not only with our blood patterns and things like that, but other methods that we're using with regards to scanning and working with people, identifying where they were prior to wearing something like this, putting a frequency, putting an imprint onto the crystal, and then wearing it for a certain period of time, and then taking a before comparative after to see exactly where people are. Generally, with regards to crystals, though, they will hold that frequency that we are imprinting into that until the crystal itself is cleared. So there are a couple different ways of which you can clear the crystal, but the main couple ones obviously are running it underwater for a certain period of time, and then obviously setting it in the moonlight. Those are 2 of the easiest ways of clearing crystals, but they re-energize them at the same time. So the ability to put a frequency in, re-energize it, whatever you want to, it's an energy source for life.
Brother, this sounds like amazing collaboration. I mean, everything's working together. Brand new product line from this brilliant collaboration. Now, the relationship with Asphor crystals and Spooky 2, it does. It makes. I mean, literally, you can create everything. Everything's possible. And can you speak on the evolution of solo created originals, which your work, and the Asphor Crystal collab pieces?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, what I did is I went over to Cairo, Egypt. Uh, about 2 years ago, I was approached by a chandelier company who makes, beautiful chandelier components, beautiful crystals that hang, that are created from the best. Everything starts from sand, right? And they're sitting on top of the largest finely ground rock tumblers on the planet, the Sahara Desert, that is just, under their feet. So they just have, it's almost as plentiful as air. They've got so much sand there. So they're sitting on the finest ingredients to make their product. And they reached out to me and they wanted to do, they wanted to see if there's something out there for a collaboration between my business and theirs. And it took a while to get to know them. It took a while to kind of, figure out how this would work. And so I just got back from Cairo, where I just got done screening all the people that were going to be working on the project, and then training them and going through all the techniques. So basically, here in the States, I've got one right-hand man, and now over in Cairo, Egypt with S4, I've got 20 right-hand men. And, part of the screening was kind of judging their aptitude. All these guys have been working for S4 for 10 plus years. And my first question was, what is their general attitude? Are they grateful? Are they resentful? Are they, do they lean into projects? So I got the best employees to choose from to help me, create more work so I can share it with more people and bring the price down to where, it's more, it's more accessible to more people, which has always been my goal.
Brilliant. And Brad, I know people are going to have to work with you directly is ideal. The greatest chiropractors ever were engineers first, and you got to be an engineer to have that kind of mindset. And so how can people work directly with you, purchase a machine?
So the purchasing goes directly through Spooky 2. That's done and handled through their website. However, once you own the machine and are looking to learn how to benefit from it, learn how to start using it for any type of methods of delivery, this is where you can start reaching out to me via email or send me a link through my website. Either or are very accessible with regards to getting a hold of me. I am very diligent about responding. I work 12-hour days and I'm very passionate about helping people. I have come across this understanding that when you learn and understand how to do things successfully, that everyone should be able to benefit from doing that. And so all of my services from a training perspective are done on a donation basis. So I ask people to just come up with an amount that they're comfortable with for learning the information that I have to share. And I will teach you anything you want to know about working with the Spooky 2 product line.
Brilliant. And I know we got a show special offer where people can purchase. And I know there's a limited time launch of this. And the new Bliss pendant, I mean, normally it's $600, which is still a good deal, but we're offering a 20% discount, dropping it down to $480. And also that you're getting a free gift of $200 frequency implant. So this is $800 value for $480. And now, Jack, how were you able to get it down? And I know that the old pieces were made just by you. This is brilliant.
Basically, the Bliss piece itself is something that's comparable more to a $1,200 piece. So I've knocked it down quite a bit because of the partnership with S4. Because I didn't even get a chance to speak about how they've got the best equipment, for cutting, grinding, polishing, shaping glass. So it takes me a considerable amount of time, up to a week. They can execute in 3 days. So these pieces are from S4 Crystal. These are my design, and I've done all the fine tuning on them as far as making sure the bevels are correct and doing all the finishing work on them. So that's how I was able to get the price down quite a bit. And I'm just really excited to be able to share something at this price where I can reach more people, and hopefully this is the beginning of how I'm going to incorporate all my new designs so I can share them with more people. I keep on looking off to the side, waiting for my cue to show it off. Okay, so look at that thing. Now, usually, not usually, but frequently, my work will have a dichroic back on it. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that this thing was wearable in each direction, front and back, because there's you get the different view on each pattern. And I think that we're going to upload some really good photography, because this is iPhone photography, which other people seem to make look fantastic, but I always make it look like 2002 iPhone kind of stuff. But it's absolutely beautiful. I'm really proud of this piece. And normally this piece would be about anywhere from $900 to $1,200. So getting it right down with the discount is something that I'm really excited about. I'm happy to share.
Yeah, and again, that was something that was really important for me simply because of the fact that a lot of the times when you've come across things in the industry that are beneficial to people, they're out of a pricing range that you can't afford. And so having an option directly on the website that breaks this thing down into 12 payments makes it manageable. So you take, say, for example, a $600 piece, you put in a 20% discount that drops it to 480, 12, monthly payments, that breaks down to a $40 payment a month. But now you're owning a quality piece of bliss that has embedded frequencies and can be amazingly beneficial to the body. It's like I said it before, man, it's the best of both worlds.
I'm glad you did that math because my math skills are basically just in the art itself
Math
of
becomes a whole
healing.
nother form when you're talking about attainability for some people. So this is
Oh yeah, absolutely. My eyes
realistic.
just cross.
Awesome. Hey, now, how can my audience follow both you and learn more about you, your work, everything?
Right.
Basically, Jack Storms. It's Storms Jack on Instagram, Jack Storms on Facebook, and it's just basically Jack Storms Glass and anything like that. You're going to find it on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, all the socials.
And my easiest way to track me down is through my website. My website is just like the word frequency, FRE-Q.com. On there, I would like to remind everybody that coming up in March, we are doing our in-person event again. So if you are interested in our 2-day event where you can come and learn any and everything there is to about frequency healing and imprinting and everything along the lines from an in-person perspective, please feel free to check out my website. That information is on there as well under the Spooky 2 page. And again, anybody interested in doing any type of training or any type of help, please feel free to send me an email, bradjohnson319@gmail.com.
And we've got an affiliate link below this video, financing options available. But I mean, just make this thing that is affordable and cutting edge technology where it can literally change the frequencies, and you change the frequencies, man, you're changing your life. And I cannot thank you guys enough. This has been fantastic. Hopefully, it's part one of part two. Maybe we can even go over different individualized conditions and show how the frequencies benefit and what lifestyle changes they could make. But thank you, gentlemen. This has been fantastic.
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you very much. I had a great time, and it's been a pleasure working with this crew. Brad's awesome, and it was great to meet you.